friends, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my updated Filipino TBR in honor of Filipino American History Month. I made one of these back in 4 years ago, 2021, I want to say 2020. It's been a while. It's been a very, very long while. So I have found 7 books. I don't own any of these books. I own one of these books. But if you want to go ahead and read these books along with me as I'm reading through them, you're more than welcome to do that. So kind of hop into the video because I do have a lot to talk about. And these books I'm very excited to read. If you like these kind of videos for me, let me know in the comments down below. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. And let's get into the video. So starting off with the book that I'm really interested in reading, and I also have plans for another TBR video that I'm gonna do in the future, and that is Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. But this is an adult cozy fantasy following Hannah, who is a magical pawn shop's new owner. This pawn shop is hidden and only a few people can find it. In this pawn shop, you can pawn off your deepest regrets. So it's already a super interesting premise as it is. On Hannah's first day of being this pawn shop's owner, she finds the pawn shop's been ransacked and her father is now missing, which is a lot to process, clearly. However, on this journey of trying to find her father and trying to figure out what happened to this place, she meets this charming young stranger who offers to help her, and the two go on into a mysterious parallel world to find her father and the pawn shop's missing artifact. This sounds super interesting to me. I've heard mixed things. I think one person I know or follow on the YouTube has read it and they did not like it. But this sounds really interesting to me. It's giving me Studio Ghibli vibes, which is kind of the whimsy of it all. So I'm excited to read it. It's on my library hold, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get it out and have a review of the book in the near-ish future. Moving on to The Heart of the Moon Goddess by Jolene Lim. This is a retelling of the Bakunawa myth, the Filipino Bakunawa myth, which is the dragon that eats the moon. In this myth, the Filipinos at the time watched the dragon eat the moon because he was in love with the moon. And in order for them to get the moon back, they prayed and they begged. And they show the dragon how much they really need the moon to live their day-to-day life. And so the Bakunawa undigests the moon. Super interesting myth on its own. I'm really excited to read this retelling. It's a very familiar tale to me. And I'm really excited to read this and see what exactly is going to go on with this book. The next one is Noli Me Tangere by Jose Rizal. I feel like I pronounced that wrong because I don't have the accents in my notes. So if I pronounce that completely incorrectly, Filipinos in the comments, can you let me know? Because I did not put the accents in the notes. You guys do not know. Jose Rizal is one of the Filipinos' main historical figures. Historical heroes actually during the Spanish turmoil. This story is a love story set in the background of a political turmoil where repression, torture, and murder run rampant. This is a very popular book in the Filipino kind of canon. I believe there is a sequel to it, and I have been meaning to read this book for the longest time. I know it's so important to my people and the history of my people. So super excited to finally read this book and see what all the hullabaloo is about. But I'm sure that I'm going to love it no matter what because it's Jose Rizal and we love Jose Rizal in this household. The next one is Black Salt Queen by Samantha Bensil. This is an adult fantasy following Laya's mother, the ruler of Mayanara, which is Hara Duja Gatdula's. Her power is fading, putting Laya in danger. Maria Colau, a matriarch of a traitorous family, is trying to claim the crown for her own family. And each woman has their own secrets and motives to pay, and their want and need to be willing to pay any prices they need to bring down her rivals. I haven't heard a single thing about this book, at all. But I'm super excited to see and hear exactly what this book's all about. And I know it's supposed to be a part of a big series, so I'm super excited and super stoked to see where this book goes. I think the next two are horror novels because is it really a recommendations video or a TBR video for me without even a hint of a horror novel? But that first one is Ascension by Eliza Victoria. This is an adult gothic novel following Emilia, who hasn't thought about this rotting house in Santa Clara for a long time. That is until she meets up with her old friend Alma. When Alma suddenly dies, Emilia returns to Santa Clara and is reminded of an unfinished ritual that her and her friends went through, and also is kind of being followed around by someone who sleeps by the edge of her bed and doesn't let them sleep. So then the question is, did they have to awaken whoever is dwelling inside this house, or they just kind of let the sleeping lie? My friend Kate, I don't know if she has YouTube anymore, but if she does, I will leave that link down below, read this book and gave it such a glowing review. And in this household, we trust Kate. We trust Kate with her bookish opinions because she is a prolific reader and is just amazing at all the things that she reads. And it's a gothic novel. It's set in the Philippines. It's by a Filipino author. I really can't go wrong with this setting here. So the next one is The Sacrifice by Rin Chapeko. This is a YA paranormal horror set in the island of Kisap Mata, which would consider be a perfect vacation in this island. However, the natives speak about this island in hushed whispers and refuse to set foot on this island because the island claims lives and they refuse to be the next people that they claim. However, a Hollywood crew will not be deterred from going on this island and filming and doing all the Hollywood things, which is disrespecting nature and its elements and all that stuff. Their goal is to get evidence of the sleeping god, and they convince a local teen to be their guide. Alon, the local teen who is being forced to do this or has been convinced to do this, knows they are slowly falling victim to the curse the deeper and deeper they go into the island. And he now needs to convince everyone to leave before it's too late. Super excited about this one. This one, I've really enjoyed Rin Chapeka's writing. I've only read like one book of theirs, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to read this one and see what the hullabaloo is and see what's going on. The island itself kind of, but not sort of, reminds me of the mythical city Biringan in the Philippines, which is in the Samar region. So I'm interested to see how that kind of twists that idea of a mythical island that takes people and is only allowing certain people in. Very intrigued by that. And the last one is The Way of the Ancient Healer. I forget who the author is, but this is a nonfiction piece. Basically, just provides an overview of traditional Filipino healing practices. This is something I've had on my TBR for a hot minute. As you guys know, I am mildly witchy. I'm not super witchy. I am mildly witchy. So I have had this on my TBR for a hot minute, just wanting to learn more about like my roots and how ancient Filipino healers used to heal their people. So I'm really excited to see what's going on with this one and see all of the practices that may have been lost because of colonization. But that is it for this video. A little bit of a shorter video for y'all, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it in the same. If you guys have read any of these books and want to get me to read whichever book first, let me know in the comments down below. If you feel like I would probably enjoy a book more than others, let me know. Or if you have other Filipino authored books that you want to spotlight for Filipino American Heritage Month, also leave that in the comments down below. But until next time, like I said in the beginning, hit like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, stay safe. Bye.